All right, everybody. Welcome to the crazy place that is the ZoomCoustic Cafe. My name is Mitch, and I am joined tonight by seven other amazing songwriters. And we are here tonight to sing three songs each. And I'm going to be doing my three songs a little bit later in the show. But I have written a ZoomCoustic Cafe theme song. It's written to the melody of a song I wrote a long time ago with my friend Andy Wills, who was on the show a couple weeks ago. We wrote a song called Kicking It Old School. And over the years, I have adapted that song, changed that song to meet the needs of whatever venue I'm playing. And so I decided it was time to adapt it to the ZoomCoustic Cafe. So while the original song, the essence of it was getting away from everything, high speed, Wi-Fi, all the technology in life, and getting away into a cabin out in the middle of nowhere. This is just the opposite because it's about being online. So I'm probably going to mess this up, but whatever. And I've asked my fellow performers here tonight to help me out with the sing-along part, at least once we get to the second and the third chorus. And I've already explained that to them when we go Zoom Zoom. All right, so here we go. This is called Kicking It Zoom Zoom. Here we are. Well, this COVID-19 world we're in has chewed me up and spit me out again. Time to hop online and get my music on. I'm gonna meet some friends on my favorite page, the Thursday ZoomCoustic Cafe, just a click away. Y'all should come along, 'cause we're kicking it zoom, 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 listening to a few tunes, sweet talking off a laptop, like an Appalachian jukebox, having us a big time songwriter night online, settling into a big good mood. Yeah, we're kicking it zoom, zoom. You can watch from anywhere you want. Turn your device into a honky-tonk. Every song you hear is original. Wear a box of shorts or a comfy robe. Leave your comments in the chat window. Hit like and subscribe. You all know the drill. 'Cause we're kicking it zoom, 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 zoom. Listen to a few tunes, sweet talking off a laptop, like an Appalachian jukebox, having us a big time songwriter night online, settling into a good mood. Yeah, we're kicking it zoom, zoom. We're so glad you're here tonight. Did I mention to subscribe and like? Tell everyone you know. Help the cafe grow. 'Cause we're kicking it zoom, zoom, zoom. Listen to a few tunes, sweet talking off a laptop, like an Appalachian jukebox, having us a big time songwriter night online, settling into a good mood. Yeah, we're kicking it zoom, zoom, settling into a good mood. Yeah, we're kicking it zoom, zoom, zoom. Oh, I made it through. How about that? All right, everybody, welcome to the ZoomCoustic Cafe. I'm going to send this back over to Mitch Collins, who's going to host the rest of our transitions here. And I think up first we have David Easterling. David Easterling, are you ready to take the show?
Well, folks, these days, it seems like we have a lot of bad news out there. There's plenty of bad news. I mean, with this virus that has killed and made so many people sick, and it's terrible. I just want to say that our hearts go out to all those who have lost loved ones, who are struggling and suffering because of this virus, and because of other things too. Addiction, accidents, all kinds of things. Our country is having a tough time with grief, and families are having a tough time with support. But there's a lot of heroes out there as well. There's good news too. And you don't have to be a superhero to be a hero. This is a brand new song. We wrote this last night. Lori and I, with a couple of friends of ours, Marilyn and Hy Newman. They live in Fayetteville, Tennessee. So we're gonna premiere this brand new song we wrote last night. It's called "Light the Signal." Selena delivers groceries to the poor, and Bruce pulls a child from the waves. Frank sews up wounds in emergency, and Barbara frees a robin lost in a cave. Light the signal, ring the bell, acts of kindness fill the way. Light the signal, ring the bell. Peter wraps presents for foster kids. Diana helps us truly understand. Clark changes a tire on the freeway, and Lois builds skyscrapers out of sand. Scott brings s'mores to a birthday campfire, and Jean serves the homeless in the street. Monroe pays the family's electric bill, and Hank finds a cure for COVID-19. Light the signal, ring the bell, acts of kindness fill the way. Light the signal, ring the bell. Who are you? What will you do? Don't need superpowers to be a hero too. Light the signal, ring the bell, acts of kindness fill the way. Light the signal, ring the bell. Light the signal, ring the bell, acts of kindness fill the way. Light the signal, ring the bell. Ah.
Yay!
All right. For those of you who know superheroes, you know that song was filled with all their alter identities, their secret identities, their everyday person lives. May we find the hero within each of us in everyday life. Well, I don't know about you all, but if you've been around for a while, you probably got some things stored in the attic or in the basement, or maybe just behind you in some china cabinets and maybe in boxes and other places. These knickknacks, these souvenirs, these special things that we have collected throughout our lives and maybe through our parents' lives and gifts from other people. They're valuable to us. And I think we often say, one day, I'll get around to going through it all. This is a song about those memories. This is a song that Laurie and I wrote just a few days ago. And we were thinking about the Island of Misfit Toys. And we wrote this song called Temple of Unwanted. All those things that you have stored away. Picture of our first house, a long lost key, Dad in his uniform, an owl figurine, plate used for birthdays, a silver spoon turning green, sitting in the cupboard, all seemed so serene. The temple of unwanted, clutter up my attic, memories left behind when Mama got sick, treasures to remind her of all her precious kids, moments spent with Dad, the adventures we lived. Blue ribbon from the fair, brother's little car. Who would have guessed we would go so far? Teacup with pink roses, a golden Christmas star, and a string missing from an old guitar. Temple of unwanted, clutter up my attic, memories left behind when Mama got sick, treasures to remind her of all her precious kids, moments spent with Dad, the adventures we lived. Souvenirs unwanted, but they will surely stay, a pleasant reminiscing, save for another day. Well, Comes to my last song tonight. I've enjoyed sharing some brand new songs with everybody, and this last one is also one that Lori and I we just wrote a few days ago. It's a fun song. There's a place where you might feel like you just want to jump in and sing along. And let me tell you that lyric is la, 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 ra, lu. La, 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 ra, lu. Laura, as in Laurie. She wanted me to write a song about her, and so we got her name in this one. But this is a song called Got a Plot of Land. Got a bit of lard, got a bit of lard. That's not right. It's got a bit of yard. I just want to tell you. We'll see if I can get it right this time. Got a bit of yard with lots of trees. Got a bit of grass and lots of weeds. Butterflies pollinating, so do bees. Time for us to plant some seeds. 'Cause we got a plot of land, yeah, we got a bit of dust. God'll sing a part and leave the rest to us. La 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 ra loo. It's up to me and it's up to you. Time for us to write this song and hope that folks will sing along. Sing it right or sing it wrong. Just jump on in before it's gone. 'Cause we got a plot of land, yes, we got a bit of dust. God'll sing a part and leave the rest to us. La 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 ra loo. It's up to me and it's up to you. 'Cause we got a plot of land, yeah, we got a bit of dust. God'll sing a part and leave the rest to us. La 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 ra loo. It's up to me and it's up to you. Carrots and taters and cucumbers, laughter and friends and pleasant words, grapes to peel and strawberry preserves, from buried treasures dinner served. 'Cause we got a plot of land, yeah, we got a bit of dust. God'll sing a part and leave the rest to us. La 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 ra loo. It's up to me and it's up to you. Got a bit of land, yeah, we got a bit of dust. God'll sing a part and leave the rest to us. La 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 ra loo. It's up to me and it's up to you. La 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 ra loo. There's so much on this earth to do. La 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 ra loo. It's up to me and it's up to you.
David Easterling, ladies and gentlemen, that was awesome. I like the Laura Lou. Makes me want to hope that my oldest daughter names her next child Laura Lou, just so that I can say it all the time. You know,
that would be great. Yeah, isn't that fun?
So thanks as always, David, for being on the cafe. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, Mitch. Thanks for putting it together. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that was fantastic. All right, we're going to shift gears now, and I mean shift gears, because we're going to go to the always surprising, sometimes unstable, in a good way, Karen Bowles. So we're going to see if we can get her video up here. Karen, I know you're there somewhere. You can't hide. Oh, you disappointed me. I was
I know.
expecting this mini pearl kind of. Well, I guess sometimes you have to just be normal so
that
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 we have a level of uncertainty about what's going to happen.
well, there has to be that level of surprise, doesn't there?
There does. There does.
Absolutely. Well,
Are
I
you are you singing from your studio at home? Is that what that looks like? I see your keyboard in the back, so I'm assuming that's where you are.
yes, I'm in my studio. I continue to work on it. It continues to evolve.
Well, I thought it might be Studio B because there's a B back there
Well, I
on the
guess it is
piano.
Studio B.
Studio B?
Yeah, this
Studio
is
balls. Okay, enough of my yakking.
well,
All
and
right.
Dolly's with me. She stays with me as I write songs. I don't know if you can see her little silhouette statue next to my B.
Oh, that is very little, especially for Dolly.
Well,
Um,
she's little.
so, all right, enough of that. So, ladies and gentlemen, Karen Bowles. Looking forward to it, Karen.
Well, thank you, folks. I hope you've had a great week. Um, the song I'm about to sing was written in 1991 during Desert Storm. We had just won Desert Storm, and the high school, Seymour High School, we live near, they were doing a rally titled Rally Around the Flag. And I wrote a song, I wrote a poem actually for it. And I have set it to music. And this is one of my husband's favorite songs. So I dedicate this to my husband and also to all of those who have served and are serving. And the moms and dads and wives and husbands and children. There's so many affected when when our military serves, and I'm very thankful for our freedom. It's nothing to take for granted, and I wore my red. So this is in honor of all those who have served and are serving. Left. This one's titled Rally Around the Flag. Left, 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 right, left, 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 right, left. Peacetime, wartime, anytime. Rally round the flag. Nowhere but the USA is there freedom like we have. Keep the vision full in sight that our forefathers had. Show your honor and support and rally round the flag. When our troops march off to war, rally round the flag. Keep that in your daily prayers until they come marching back. Sons and daughters in the fight bravely defend our land. Stand with them for liberty and rally round the flag. Old glory is flying high. Old glory is worth the fight. Stars and stripes forever wave. Rally round the flag. Many contributions made for the valiant noble task. Weave the fabric true and right, and it will always stand. Show your love, America, and rally round the flag. Oh, glory is flying high. Oh, glory is worth the fight. Weave the fabric true and right, and it will always stand. Show your love, America, and rally round the flag. Show your love, America, and rally round the flag. Left, 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 right, left, 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 right, left. Well, that was my first song. And before I continue, I want to mention that I'm part of the Knoxville Songwriters Association. We typically meet on Tuesdays. Right now we're not. But once we do, we'll begin again on Tuesdays. And you can find us on Facebook. Again, the Knoxville Songwriters Association. Also, I'm a member of the Nashville Songwriters Association, and they also have a web page. Great. These two associations are such a great way to learn, to be family with, actually, and just learn and grow and share. And I'm on YouTube. I'm new to it. I'm looking for subscribers. I'm up to 17. Woohoo! But I'm Karen Bowles Songwriter at YouTube. So please subscribe. I would just be thrilled. All right, my next song. We don't have to have a pandemic to have some hard things that we go through. And I've experienced them. You have as well. And they say it's not what you do, it's what you do with what happens. It's not what happens, but it's what you do with what happens. And this one was written in probably the early 2000s, maybe 2004, 2005, something like that. Was going through a thing, and I love David in Psalms. David said in Psalms 32:7, 32:6 and 7, he said that surely when the mighty waters rise, they will not reach me. You are my hiding place. You will protect me from trouble and surround me with songs of deliverance. Wow. Woo! Man, that's a hallelujah right there. So God gives us his word, and clearly like songs. You surround me with songs of deliverance. So here we are, songwriters. I had to write a song about it. This one's titled You Deliver Me. Let me tune it up just a little. You'll like it better if I tune just a little. All right, here we go. And this is a prayer. You are my hiding place. You will preserve me from trouble. You will surround me with songs. So when hard times come, and they will, keep your faith, keep your faith. A better day's coming. It is. He's got all the answers. He's not fretting. He's not worried. He's got this. And this song I wrote a few years ago. Had a friend on Facebook. His mother was passing with cancer, and we watched and prayed. And he would update, and we watched and prayed. And the last photo he posted of her, she was at such peace. She was ready. She was at such peace. And she passed away, and his text, his posts after that were of heartbreak and sorrow. And I was reading what he was saying and remembered her picture, the peace on her face, and it just welled up inside of me. What would she tell him if she could? What would she say? And this next song is titled I've Gone Home. And I reworked I did a new little chord progression on the verses just I felt like it needed a little something. So anyway, here we go. I've gone home to be with Jesus. Please don't cry for me below. I left this world on an angel wing. I'll shout his praise for eternity. Heaven with streets of gold. I've gone home. Once I saw the pearly gates of glory. Then I felt the struggles of the old life pass away. I heard a chorus of angels singing hallelujah. Delivered to the arms of Christ, oh happy day. I've gone home to be with Jesus. Please don't cry for me below. I left this world on an angel wing. I'll shout his praise for eternity. Heaven with streets of gold. I've gone home. He's the light who drove away my darkness. The Lamb full of love who redeemed my fallen soul. The bread bruised and broke, concealing my salvation. My shepherd through the valley of death. Now I'm home. I've gone home to be with Jesus. Please don't cry for me below. I left this world on an angel wing. I'll shout his praise for eternity. Heaven with streets of gold. I've gone home. I left this world on an angel wing. I shout his praise for eternity. Heaven, God's holy throne. Heaven where I belong. Heaven with streets of gold. I've gone home. I've gone home. Well, thank you for having me.
Karen Bowles, ladies and gentlemen. See, she doesn't have to have silly costumes on. She can sing seriously. Seriously, you can sing seriously.
Fun for us.
Well, that's fun is good, but it's nice to see you in a little more serious mode every now and then.
Well, trying to be an encourager today. There's been a
Trying to
lot
be
going
the
on in our
encourager.
country.
All right, thank you, Karen. We're going to get ready for David Lauver right now. I want to let everybody know that one of our performers, Kevin Mahoney, has a power outage at his home. And so, Edna Riddick, you need to be on deck after David, please. And we're going to keep being on deck until I hear from Kevin that the power's back on. All right, so that's a little bit of a scheduling change now. But can we find David Lauver somewhere, Mitch?
I think I'm around here somewhere.
There you are. I think you're like in the same position the last time I saw you, aren't you?
Okay.
Or are you in a different room? Are you in a different room? Or?
Same room, closet under the stairs here. So.
Oh, really?
But I do have a photo, a print of Willie Nelson up here to provide me some inspiration. So.
Okay, very good. Well, I know.
Which is a good segue.
We can always count on you for some excellent story songs. With a dash every now and then of some David Lauver humor. And so I'm going to get off the mic, and everybody please welcome David Lauver to the ZoomCoustic Cafe.
Okay, well, thank you, Mitch. A really good start, I think, with every body here today. And I was interested in hearing both David and Karen had some songs that kind of highlighted inspiration in one way or another. And I've got one maybe with a little bit different tack on that same subject. This is one that kind of apocryphal, but includes some advice from some of our songwriting heroes and mentors like Kim Williams. Edna and I had a chance to write with Red Lane, and one of the lines is one of the things that he told us. I was new to Nashville, trying tunes at writers' nights and old saloons. My picking skills would not fill a tip jar. When I couldn't reach the right note on some new up-tempo I wrote, I said, sorry, I just play songwriter guitar. Then an old man on a bar stool shook his head as he staggered to the stage. He said, you might fly as high as the bluebird, or roost in some old no-holds-barred, and you can be living proof of those three chords, and the truth will outshine any rhinestone star. Work at touching people's lives, and then don't apologize for playing songwriter guitar. Next he said, don't be too clever. Think back to the times you ever felt your heart sore or shattered on the ground. Either way, love sends you reeling. Tell the truth about the feeling, and you'll give them more than pretty empty sounds. Well, I never did see that old man again, but most of what I know I learned from him. You might fly as high as the bluebird, or roost in some old no-holds-barred, but you can be living proof, three chords and the truth will outshine any rhinestone star. working, touching people's lives, and then don't apologize for playing songwriter guitar. I'm proud to say I play songwriter guitar. Okay, well that is the a lot of true statements in there. At least true advice from some folks that helped me along the way. Speaking of such folks, this next one is called More Than One Fish, and it does not have to do with our, many of us have had a co-writer named Fish Fisher. This is not about Fish Fisher, but it does have a fish connection. He plays in Gatlinburg a lot, and this is one that I wrote when the Knoxville Songwriters group was booked at the Ripley's Aquarium during the Smoky Mountain Songwriters Festival. I was feeling sad and glum when I stopped by Ripley's Aquarium of the Smokies in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. I'd just been dumped by a gold digger girl. I spent more on her than I had in this world. It seemed like it was the end of the line for me. I was a sucker when I thought I'd found a keeper. She just had her hooks out on me. But if there's one thing Ripley's has taught me, there's more than one fish in the sea. Went to walk away my blues under that fish tank in a big clear tube. That's where my thoughts all started to connect. When I watched sharks circle as I strolled beneath, spied their evil eyes and razor-sharp teeth. Each man-eater reminded me of my ex. I was a sucker when I thought I'd found a keeper. She just had her hooks out for me. But if there's one thing Ripley's has taught me, there's more than one fish in the sea. Now I'm casting for an aqua upgrade, looking for the right lure for a Ripley's mermaid.
So I'm gonna be like, hey, nice, sounds good, guys.
I was a sucker when I thought I'd found a keeper, but she just had her hooks out for me. And if there's one thing Ripley's has taught me, there's more than one fish in the sea. Okay, there was a Ripley song as we had been often encouraged at the Smoky Mountain Songwriters Festival, write songs about moonshine and Ripley. So that's one of them there for Cindy. This next one, I want to go actually all serious compared to that last song. Karen had a real nice patriotic song. This is one, I guess, that since we're just coming off Memorial Day, is one that I've had the chance to play on some Memorial Days, and I think Edna, maybe we debuted this when the Knoxville Songwriters Association cooperated with a local radio station. We did a benefit for the East Tennessee Veterans Honor Guard. These are the folks who conduct military funeral services for veterans here in East Tennessee. And sometimes, unfortunately, over the last several years, their job and the other veterans' jobs have been interrupted by folks who protest, kind of hijack military funerals. So that's what inspired this. Some songs make you happy, and some songs you write because you're mad. This is one of those. Our town said goodbye today to Billy Johnson, who came home in uniform for the last time. His young widow stood tall beside his mama and his daddy. A veteran led that long receiving line. From outside the church there came a loud disturbance as some strangers posed for TV camera crews. They waved signs that said, "Thank God for dead soldiers." Then that veteran told them, "What you say is true. You say thank God for dead soldiers. You hypocrites got that right in one way. Their sacrifices are why you can protest today. It seems like a reach that freedom of speech even covers how you carry on. You better thank God for dead soldiers who defended your right to be wrong." He said, "Folded flags all stand for hard-won freedom, like the right to write what you like on your sign. But when you push your belief by adding to a family's grief, it looks to me like you have lost your mind. Are you too caught up in self-righteous parading to recognize the real harm that you do? You might be making your own reservations in hell, when the hell you put good people through. You say thank God for dead soldiers. You hypocrites got that right in one way. Their sacrifices are why you can protest today. It seems like a reach that freedom of speech even covers how you carry on. You better thank God for dead soldiers who defended your right to be wrong. You thank God for all the soldiers defending your right to be wrong. Anyway, hope you guys have had a good time so far, and look forward to hearing the rest of our folks, I think, with Edna coming up next. Thank you.
Thank you so much, David. I'd just like to say that the Knoxville Songwriters Association is well represented on the cafe tonight. There's either 4 or 5 playing tonight, maybe it's 4, who are members of the Knoxville Songwriters Association. If you're listening to this broadcast and you want to know about that, you can contact me about it, or Edna, or Dave, or David Easterling. All right, we have Edna. Edna, you've got a little different change of position tonight, don't you, for where you're playing?
Well, I've moved around a little bit so you could see my wall.
Yeah, well, I can. That's nice. That's good background. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Edna Riddick.
Thank you, Mitch. In 2013, our Knoxville Songwriters Association was invited to Gatlinburg to join boys and girls at the Gatlinburg Boys and Girls Club in what they referred to Out of the Mouth of Babes. And they wrote poems, lyrics, or whatever they could come up with. It was just really young kids. So I'm going to sing two of the songs tonight that I co-wrote with those youngsters. The first one is called The Story of Two Stoves. And understand these kids were only like 7 or 8 years old. And my co-writer on this was Summer Hester, The Story of Two Stoves. There once was a stove with lots of toppings, celebrated when a new day was done. Always had a great big party, gigantic cheese, pizza, everyone. Another stove I knew made lots of cookies. Those frosted cookies made her proud. Always knew we'd have a sugar rush. You'd find us with the party crowd. Then one day, the stoves had a problem. They were fighting over who was the best. Why could they not remember how they brought happy smiles to their guests? Sometimes we forget we are important. No need to reason where or why. Like two stoves that make folks happy. Live your life knowing you can bring a smile. Like two stoves that make folks happy. Live your life knowing you can bring a smile. Thank you, Summer Hester, for that co-write. The next song was also written at the Gatlinburg Boys and Girls Club, and it was Kevin Hicks was the one who presented the story, the situation, and as a member of the Knoxville Songwriters. In fact, I think I was president then also. We sort of tweaked it, put melody with it, and this is called Heaven. Heaven will be a fun place to be. All you have to do is believe. Angels you see will be friends and family. Heaven is where I wanna be. You should never, ever tell a lie, 'cause it will make the devil happy. He's a nasty guy, out to get the smallest child. Heaven is the place for me. Heaven will be a fun place to be. All you have to do is believe. Angels you see will be friends and family. Heaven is where I wanna be. If you get in trouble, say a prayer. With arms wide open, Jesus cares. He sees everything, loves us even when we're mean. Knowing God is love means victory. Heaven will be a fun place to be. All you have to do is believe. Angels you see will be friends and family. Heaven is where I wanna be. Heaven will be a fun place to be. All you have to do is believe. All you have to thank you to my co-writer on that one, Kevin Hicks. Several years ago, our son went on a senior trip to Washington, D.C., and my mom and dad had gone to D.C. as seniors, and then later on, I started working at McGee Tyson Air National Guard Base at the Professional Military Education Center. And being in that military environment and knowing the story and the situations of the military, I was inspired to write this song called Pray for Peace. On a hill called Arlington, heroes quietly sleep. Guards move slowly with solemn marching feet to honor brave Americans who answered the call. Fighting for freedom, they gave their all. Pray for peace throughout the land. Pray for peace, that we may stand united and free to lift our dreams. Pray, pray America, pray for peace. A wall built after Vietnam stands tall for all to see. Names inscribed justify freedom is not free. Lonely hearts cry out in pain when loved ones are gone. Please, blessed Jesus, bring them safely home. Pray for peace throughout the land. Pray for peace, that we may stand united and free to lift our dreams. Pray, pray America, pray for peace. Throughout the world, our battlefields, can you hear the cries? Little children, Lord, they're the reason why we pray for peace throughout the land. Pray for peace, that we may stand united and free to lift our dreams. Pray, pray America, pray for peace.
Thank you, Edna.
Thank you very much. I
Always
enjoyed it.
beautiful songs from you.
Thank you.
It would appear that it is my time for my songs. I don't know how that snuck up on. I'm going to start off with the song that I usually play towards the end of a set when I'm playing out somewhere. It's kind of my testimony song, and it's called For Your Glory, and it's all about how I want my life to be for the glory and the honor of God. I've run away from your will, Lord, for too long. Now all I have I surrender to you, God. your glory, Lord, use me. For your glory, Lord, use me. Let all I am be who you are. For your glory, Lord, use me. You chose me when I was unworthy to receive you. Now my soul's on fire and I can't conceal you. Lord, I want you to know I'll go where you want me to go. For your glory, Lord, use me. For your glory, Lord, use me. Let all I am be who you are. For your glory, Lord, use me. Lord, I want you to know I'll go where you want me to go. For your glory, Lord, use me. For your glory, Lord, use me. Let all I am be who you are. For your glory, Lord, use me. For your glory, Lord, use me. That was For Your Glory. Appreciate you all being here tonight and listening to us playing our songs. This next song would be more of a, well, the last one was a serious song, certainly, but this one is a song that, to me, I wrote it a long time ago with my friend Lee Johnson, who lives in Colorado, and this song has been very good to us in terms of people who have recorded it. We've had 4 or 5 people record this song, and whenever I hear an account of someone whose life was taken abruptly, and certainly we hear a lot of that during this season of the world that we're in right now, but last week it particularly came to mind when I got the news that the daughter of someone in our church where I've served as the children's pastor, well, this woman, she's in her 80s, but her daughter, who was pretty much about my age, in her early 60s, died just suddenly. She had gone in for back surgery and all of that went fine, but several days later she got sick and developed a fever and she died the next day. And it turned out to be a sepsis infection of the blood. It was just so devastating, but it reminded me that all of our days are numbered and we don't know which one we're on, and so we need to live life based on the most important things, and that's what this song is about, and that's why my K pedal was on the 2nd fret, because that's where it belongs for this song. So this is call numbered. There's a homemade cross on the side of Lake Road. I cleared the weeds off a couple days ago. It's where I lost a friend to a head-on crash. His football jersey, lucky number 5, was hanging on a chain. Graduation night, where he should have been. Man, I want him back. 17 and bulletproof is what we'd always say. I still feel the silence from when they read his name. Was a wake-up call, a warning shot, kick in the gut, reminder, right now is all I've got. Gonna live and love like tomorrow's gone. 'Cause all my days are numbered, and I don't know which one I'm on. Well, it hit me hard when I got the news. I drove to his house, fighting back the truth, hoping he was there, working on his truck. We had plans that summer for a big road trip to get to every beach that was on our list, throw some cold ones down, rack some memories up, talking about those college girls, how we'd spend our lives. We had everything ahead of us and nothing but sweet time. It was a wake-up call, a warning shot, a kick in the gut, reminder that right now is all I've got. Gonna live and love like tomorrow's gone. 'Cause all my days are numbered, and I don't know which one I'm on. So I try to soak in every moment like it might be my last, and thank God for every speck of sand that's in my hourglass. It was a wake-up call, a warning shot, a kick in the gut, reminder, right now is all I've got. Gonna live and love like tomorrow's gone. 'Cause all my days are numbered, and I don't know which one I'm on. All our days are numbered, and We don't know which one we're on. That's numbered. Thank you, Lee Johnson, for writing that with me, or let me write it with you, however you want to think about it. Lee was one of the founding members of a yearly retreat we've had up in Songwriters Retreat we've had up in Gatlinburg called the Red House Songwriters Retreat. And out of that retreat has come a lot of great songs, I think. And just monumental songs that have just touch your lives and just make you stop in your tracks and ponder everything that has to do with life. But this next song that I'm going to play is not one of those songs. However, it did come out of our Smoky Mountain Songwriters Festival just last year. And I co-wrote this with Scott Parker, who I think is coming up after me here. So Scott, I hope you're playing some songs that we wrote together. But anyway, we wrote this together, and we were just so blessed to have this recorded by an artist from Lebanon, Virginia, named Dan Curry. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can find this here. Let me reach up here. Dan recorded that song, and we were so blessed by that. And he didn't just make a CD project, he made a legit, I don't know if you can see that, it's coming in and out, but trust me, he recorded an album, an LP. That's weird how that's showing up there. And it's called Some Dan Good Songs. He is so funny, that Dan Curry. But anyway, this is called Stupid Good, Stupid Song. And it's about all those songs that get in your head, you know, and you don't even want them to be there, but they get in there anyway. And, you know, like Bop and Who Let the Dogs Out and Macarena and Achy Breaky Heart, you know, songs like that. So we wrote last year, Scott and I did, and well, actually Dan was a co-writer on it. I wasn't going to mention that, but I thought it'd make him feel better tonight and just be called an artist. But this song is just about all those silly songs that get in your head. And so now this is an audience participation song. And so I'm going to ask Mitch Collins to unmute the mic of all of our other performing songwriters tonight. And we're gonna see what happens here. I'm gonna mute mine here. Let's see. Mute. Okay. Actually, why don't you just unmute everybody, Mitch? Let's throw caution to the wind here tonight on this song. And we're going to do a first on the ZoomCoustic. We're going to try and have an audience participation song. So Mitch, can you unmute everybody? Oh, there you go. Some people aren't unmuted. Maybe they don't want to be unmuted, but maybe it's just doing it all at a time. I thought we could unmute them all, but maybe you can't. So I appreciate you doing that manually. So anyway, while he's doing that, let me explain to you. There's a part in this song where I go, going round, round, get around, who let the dogs out? And when we get to that part, I would just really appreciate it if everybody with their biggest who let the dogs out voice would go, who let the dogs out? All right, we're going to try it on the count of 3. Let's just give it a try and see how it's going to work out.
Okay.
All right, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Who let the dogs out? I can't hear how you're doing because I got mine turned off. But we're just gonna hope that it comes out right. And this is the first time on the cafe, so it doesn't have to be perfect. All right, here we go. Stupid Good, Stupid Song. Was going around the song of the week.
On camera.
Plenty of them on the charts. A honky-tonk drinking song to get you deep thinking song, but I ain't really all that smart. So I just sat in the sun. I kicked back and started to strum. Here's some bop, achy, breaky, Macarena, drive you crazy, heavy, but you heard it. stuck in your head, going round, round, get around. Who let the dogs out?
Let the dogs out.
Yes, it's happening again. Can't help singing along to a stupid, good, stupid song. I hope you were singing along. They don't need to say much, just enough to paint a silly smile on your face. Cause a commotion with aerobic hand motions like the YMCA. It might make grandma look dumb, but hey, that's part of the fun. Here we go. Oven, bop, bakey, breaky, microwave, drive you crazy, hate it, but you heard it, stuck in your head, going round, round, get around. Who let the dogs out? There it is, it's happening again. Can't help singing along to a stupid, good, stupid song. Here's the really touchy, sentimental part. Ooh, when the earworm bites, ooh, you're gonna lose some sleep tonight. But the blood bop, bakey, breaky, microwave, drive you crazy, ain't it, but you heard it, it's stuck in your head, going round, round, get around. Who let the dogs out? There it is, it's happening again. Can't help singing along. We all live in a yellow submarine, yellow submarine, yellow submarine. Can't help singing along. Can't help singing along to a stupid, good, stupid song. A stupid, good, stupid song. Not yet. To a stupid, good, stupid song.
Who let the dogs
I
out?
really hope that came out. I can't wait to go back and listen to the recording. And now, look who's coming up next. It is Scott
Hey.
Parker himself. Hey, Scott.
Hey, Mitch.
You didn't know I was going to do all that, did you?
I didn't.
Do you think Dan's going to enjoy watching that recording and how we built him up?
I'm sure he will.
I'm sure he will. I'm sure he won't have anything to say about that to us. Actually, to me, you weren't involved in that. So, but anyway, I'm glad to have you back on the cafe, Scott.
It's an honor
And,
to be here.
You might want to explain to those who haven't seen you perform on the cafe just exactly where it is that you're performing from, and also let them know if we're going to have any added applause by any members of your family this particular time. So I'm gonna turn it over to you, Scott.
Well, thanks, Mitch. Good to see everybody again. I'm performing in my closet off the master bedroom here, my office / music closet, and I've got a lot of.
So anyway, while he's doing that, let me explain to you. There's a part in this song where I go, going round, round, get around. Who let the dogs out? And when we get to that part, I would just really appreciate it if everybody with their biggest "Who let the dogs out" voice would go, "Who let the dogs out?" All right, we're gonna try it on the count of 3. Let's just give it a try and see how it's gonna work out.
Okay.
All right, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Who let the dogs out? I can't hear how you're doing because I got mine turned off. But we're just gonna hope that it comes out right. This is the first time on the cafe, so it doesn't have to be perfect. All right, here we go. Stupid good, stupid song. Was going around the song of the week.
Camera.
Plenty of them on the charts. A honky tonk drinking song to get you deep thinking song, but I ain't really all that smart. So I just sat in the sun. I kicked back and started to strum. Kiss 'em, bop, achy, breaky, microwave, drive you crazy, hate it, but you heard it. Stuck in your head, going round, round, get around. Who let the dogs out?
Let the dogs out.
Yes, it's happening again. Can't help singing along to a stupid good singing along. They don't need to say much, just enough to paint a silly smile on your face. Cause a commotion with aerobic hand motions like the YMCA. It might make grandma look dumb, but hey, that's part of the fun. Here we go. Oven, bop, bake it, break it, microwave, drive you crazy, hate it, but you heard it, stuck in your head, going round, round, get around. Who let the dogs out? There it is, it's happening again. Can't help singing along to a stupid, good, stupid song. Here's the really touchy, sentimental part. Ooh, when the earworm bites, woo, you're gonna lose some sleep tonight. Cause the blood bop, bake it, break it, microwave, drive you crazy, hate it, but you heard it, it's stuck in your head, going round, round, get around. Who let the dogs out? There it is, it's happening again. Can't help singing along. We all live in a yellow submarine, yellow submarine, yellow submarine. Can't help singing along. No, we can't help singing along to a stupid, good, stupid song. A stupid, good, stupid song. Not yet. To a stupid, good, stupid song.
Who let the dogs
I
out?
really hope that came out. I can't wait to go back and listen to the recording. And now, look who's coming up next. It is Scott
Hey.
Parker himself. Hey, Scott.
Hey, Mitch.
You didn't know I was going to do all that, did you?
I didn't.
Do you think Dan's going to enjoy watching that recording and how we built him up?
I'm sure he will.
I'm sure he will. I'm sure he won't have anything to say about that to us. Actually, to me, you weren't involved in that. So, but anyway, I'm glad to have you back on the cafe, Scott.
It's an honor
And
to be here.
you might want to explain to those who haven't seen you perform on the cafe just exactly where it is that you're performing from, and also let them know if we're going to have any added applause by any members of your family this particular time. So I'm gonna turn it over to you, Scott.
Well, thanks, Mitch. Good to see everybody again. I'm performing in my closet off the master bedroom here, my office / music closet, and I've got a lot of junk in here, but it works for me, and write a lot of songs in here. And last time I was on, I had some applause from my family. This time I don't think they care, so it's just going to be me. So everybody hear me okay? Somebody send me a thumbs up or something just to let me know. I think we're live here. Okay, good deal. Okay, great. Okay, so this first song I want to do, I actually wrote this with the same Dan Curry that Mitch was talking about and our friend Scott Miller. We wrote this on a songwriter retreat a few months ago, and it's kind of, if we demo it up, it'll be kind of poppy, but I don't really sing poppy, so I'm just going to sing the way I can sing it, okay? This is called It's Always You. There's a simple kind of magic that always seems to happen. Whenever you're around, there's nothing I can't do. Even in my mind, always by my side, pulling out the good, erasing all the blues. It's always you that makes me happy, always you that makes me smile. When the moon and stars all disappear, you light up the night. You're the one thing I can count on, the diamond shining through. When I look around, I find it's always you. Like any good pop song, you gotta have this after the chorus. Whoa, 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 whoa. Knew there was something missing, had a hole that needed fixing. Wasn't sure what I needed till you came into my life. Can't remember me before my heart found what it was waiting for. The pieces came together and they fit just right. It's always you that makes me happy, always you that makes me smile. When the moon and stars all disappear, you light up the night. You're the one thing I can count on, the diamond shining through. When I look around, I find it's always why, oh, you, forever me and you, riding together through whatever we gotta go through. As long as we're together, you always make it a whole lot better. It's always you that makes me happy, it's always you that makes me smile. When the moon and stars all disappear, you light up the night. You're the one thing I can count on, the diamond shining through. When I look around, I find it's always you that makes me happy, always you that makes me smile. When the moon and stars all disappear, you light up the night. You're the one thing I can count on, the diamond shining through. When I look around, I find it's always you. Whoa, 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 whoa. And then you just slowly fade. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. It's always you. So let me do a song here that Mitch and I wrote. I've got a daughter that just turned 13, so she's a teenager now. This happened just a few weeks ago. So this song is going to be very important to me in the next few years, and I think you'll understand pretty quickly why. Well, it was Saturday night and I was cleaning my gun when an opie-looking teenage boy showed up on my front porch with flowers, and I thought, this is gonna be fun. I let him sink in and I set him down. Said, before you take my princess out, how about we have us a little talk on the couch right now? What's your Boy Scout rank, your GPA? Does the FBI have your DNA? What's the quickest way from here to make Outage? Have you ever been caught holding hands, played lead guitar in a metal band? What's the dumbest thing you ever done did? Sit back, relax, the questions just get harder. In this tried and true interview to date my daughter. I wasn't being tough, I wasn't being mean, giving him the first date 3rd degree, the same one I heard I didn't need to learn. It's in the dad with the daughter gene. By question 9 he was petrified. I said, take a deep breath, you're doing fine. And there's a bathroom break after number 25. Is there a tracking app on your iPhone? Do you think I'd be a good chaperone? What does abstinence and curfew mean to you? How many times a week do you go to church? Have you ever had a ride inside a hearse? 'Cause I can make that happen if you break her heart in two. Yes, you can have another glass of water. We're about through with this interview to date my daughter. I got up to get a beer and brought him out 1, 2, then set it down right in front of him just to see what he would do. I said, I think 3.0's a fine GPA. You got some nice young man in your DNA. Yes, the handle on that hunting knife is pure bone. But don't worry about the sweat stains on the couch. Props to you for not passing out. Glad you think I'd make a real good chaperone. Go give my angel the flowers you bought her. I don't want to be late for your supervised date with my only daughter. Well, I'm driving. You can sit in the back seat. Leave room for Jesus. All right, Mitch brought that idea to me based on an application to date your daughter, and I thought that was a really good idea. Thanks, Mitch, for making that work really good. This last song I'm going to do, I wrote with Mitch and Josh Cottrell, and we were on the same songwriting trip from the first song. And Josh is a very, very talented guy, great guitarist, great vocalist, great writer. I thought we would kind of write something really poppy, and we ended up writing what sounds like a 100-year-old gospel song. So we're gonna do that. It's called "All Prayed Up." Life's a rough and bumpy road, filled with twists and turns, but you can navigate it when you get into His Word. Trials and tribulations are a guarantee, but there's joy in the journey if we just believe. Nothing gets me down, nothing gets me down. I'm standing on His promises, Calvary's solid ground. Satan, get behind me, I'm washed in the blood. Nothing gets me down, 'cause I'm all prayed up. Paul and Silas preached the gospel everywhere they went. Some people chased them out of town, some chose to repent. Their spirits were not broken, even when they were in chains. They started singing hymns, got on their knees and prayed. Nothing gets me down, nothing gets me down. I'm standing on His promises, Calvary's solid ground. Satan, get behind me, I'm washed in the blood. Nothing gets me down, 'cause I'm all prayed up. All right, this is a very good, appropriate verse for what we're going through right now. You can choose to give into fear and disbelief, or you can choose to walk the path of faith and victory. Name and claim the power found in Joshua 1:9. Be strong and courageous, 'cause God's with you all the time. Nothing gets me down, nothing gets me down. I'm standing on His promises, Calvary's solid ground. Satan, get behind me, I'm washed in the blood. Nothing gets me down, 'cause I'm all prayed up. Standing, standing, standing on the promises of God, my Savior. Standing, standing. I'm standing on the promises of God. Nothing gets me down, nothing gets me down. I'm standing on His promises, Calvary's solid ground. Satan, get behind me, I'm washed in the blood. Nothing gets me down, 'cause I'm all prayed up. Satan, get behind me, I'm washed in the blood. Nothing gets me down, 'cause I'm all prayed up. Alrighty. Thank you very much.
Scott Parker. Man, that took me back to writing that up there in Abingdon, Virginia. The only thing it was missing were those two people in the yard out back trying to get their lawnmower started the whole time.
Right.
We were trying to write a serious song
For an hour and a half.
out there entertaining us, but things like that happen in writing sessions. And we still wrote a good song in spite of it.
I think so.
So, hey, Scott, thanks for being on with us tonight.
Thanks
We're
for
going to
having me.
have Casey Smith come up next.
So the first song I'm going to do is called Best Thing I Got Going On. And it's my attempt at a love song, I guess, for the place I'm in life. I'm married with 2 younger kids, and I know anybody with kids knows that it can be impossible to have a real conversation with your spouse sometimes. You just feel like roommates, you're like passing. Anyway, this is a song about just actually having a moment with them alone. We can go out on the town tonight and dress up fancy if you like. Or we can take it on back to our place where there ain't nobody but you and I. 'Cause you're the best thing I got going on, and I really just want you all along. So come on, honey, will you take me home? 'Cause you're the best thing I got going on. In a crowded room, you're all I see. But sometimes I just want you with me. So step on the gas, baby, get us home. Lock the door and throw away the key. 'Cause you're the best thing I got going on, and I really just want you all along. So come on, honey, will you take me home? 'Cause you're the best thing I got going on. I'm thinking fireplace, candlelight, and turn on that new song we both liked. I'm thinking Anthem slow and voices low. I live a slice of paradise. Yeah, I live a slice of paradise. Yeah, I live a slice of paradise. 'Cause you're the best thing I got going on, and I really just want you all along. So come on, honey, will you take me home? 'Cause you're the best thing I got going on. 'Cause you're the best thing that I've ever known. I've been waiting all day to get you all along. So come on, honey, get on home. 'Cause you're the best thing I got going on. Thank you. My next song is called What Would Have Become of Us, and it's pretty much what the title says. It's really just kind of ending a relationship and thinking about, what could have been, I guess, with a little different twist on it. I guess it was a classic high school sweetheart breakup story. You went off to school and left me here feeling like a fool. There was more to the story that was hard to deny. If you never chose to say goodbye, this is what life would be like. A jeep driving, four-wheeler riding, fishing till dark kind of life. Always on high gear, never a dull year, from kisses to end each night. Bright loving, burning the oven, pray crazy with kids and the dogs. But you couldn't say yes, so we'll just have to guess. Would have become of us. I know we both moved on, and we each found happiness. I just wonder if you had second thoughts, maybe some regrets. I wonder if you gave more thought about what might have been with me, and what kind of life we would have had. I wonder if you see the Jeep driving, four-wheel riding, vision to dark kind of life. Always a high gear, never a dull year. Kisses doing this high. Got loving, Monday oven, crazy with kids and the dogs. But you couldn't say yes, so we'll just have to guess. Would have become of us. When I get into my Jeep, sometimes I can still see you in my passenger seat. When I get into my Jeep, sometimes I can still see you smile back at me. And I start to see a Jeep driving, four-wheel riding, vision too dark kind of life. Always in high gear, never a dull year. Kisses to end each night. Forgot loving, Monday oven, crazy with kids and the dogs. But you couldn't say yes, so we'll just have to guess. Would have become of us. Thank you. Oh, sorry for the noise there. The last one I'm gonna do is called Winter Anthem. And I'm the weird person who likes cold weather. And this song is, all my songs are about relationships, I'm sorry. But this song is kind of about a relationship in comparison to the season. So here we go. It finally turned cold and I thought of you. When the temperature drops, it brings out the truth. The warm months, they are so sentimental. Takes a season change to make the complicated simple. 'Cause I get quiet and I stay in and I think about how it all began. As the snow falls, I feel the walls there caving in. But when I go out, nothing changes. Try to keep my mind off the new arrangements. If I'm honest, I've been impatient. It makes me feel good again. See you left in the fall. I tried to stay afloat, but when the air hits my lungs, it really rocks the boat. I remember that cold, the night you left me stranded. Every winter now, I come up empty-handed. 'Cause I get quiet and I stay in and I think about how it all began. As the snow falls, I feel the walls there caving in. But when I go out, nothing changes. Try to keep my mind off the new arrangements. If I'm honest, I've feel the walls there caving in. Yeah, they're caving in. Yeah, they're caving in. Thank you.
Hey, Casey, thank you. How many ball caps do you have?
A lot.
I didn't know if you had one for rain and one for snow and one for hail.
I've always worn hats. I don't know.
All right. Well,
Thank you.
enjoyed having you here tonight.
Me too.
And we are going to wrap this up. Stepping in, pinch hitting tonight.
All right. Now, believe it or not, Casey said she's never co-written any songs before. And so we got to talking after meeting on this Zoom thing. And she goes, "You want to co-write?" And I said, "Well, heck, yeah, I love co-writing." And so we got together last week, and we've actually written 2 songs already, and this is one of them. She came with this idea and a verse and a chorus, and we kind of messed around with it a little, and this is where we ended up. This is called Come Home. It's really kind of turned out to be just a universal, when you're missing somebody, you just want them to come home sometimes. I've never known silence so loud it could kill, till the day you left and this house stood still. Your words echo in these empty rooms, they keep telling me how much I'm missing you. Come home, come home. You must be tired out there on your own. Come home, come home. The road gets long when you go it alone. Let go of your pride and please come home. Well, your welcome back is waiting on you, so come on by anytime you want to. The door's unlocked if you lost your key, and the light is on if it's too dark to see. Come home, come home. You must be tired out there on your own. Come home, come home. The road gets long when you go it alone. Let go of your pride and please come home, come home. When I see you, I'll come running. I'll meet you halfway, from where I am to where you are. Please don't wait to come home, come home. You must be tired out there on your own. Come home, come home. The road gets long when you go it alone. Let go of your pride and please come home, come home. All right, there we go. Casey says that's her first co-write. I couldn't believe it. She is a great co-writer. So if you're looking for somebody to write with, she is an easy person to work with. All right, I'm going to do one more. That way Mitch can wrap it up and we can get out of here. This is seems kind of appropriate for the time. I just wrote this one, so if I mess it up, just go with it. You'll never know because it's new. So, I was sitting in my music room, I guess about 6 weeks ago, and just this little idea came to my mind of I just need something. Sometimes I can sing to myself that just makes me feel better. And so this is a song when I'm just not feeling so great. This is kind of a song I've started kind of singing just to kind of get my morning going sometimes before I start writing. So anyway, it's just called Okay. So here we go. When it feels like the world's out of control, spinning faster and faster into a black hole, I let go, 'cause I know a voice in my head is gonna say, forget today, live for what comes next. It's gonna be alright, everything will be okay. For every dark night there is gonna be a brighter day. Yeah, keep on smiling, the sun's gonna shine and tomorrow will go my way. It's gonna be alright, everything will be okay. When I think about the down and outside known, every one of them in the moment overblown, I shake my head, laugh instead to clear my mind, 'cause I've got another shot every time I find it's gonna be alright, everything will be okay. For every dark night there is gonna be a brighter day. So keep on smiling, the sun's gonna shine and tomorrow will go my way. It's gonna be alright, everything will be okay. It don't matter how and I don't care why, as long as I get back to a better state of mind. It's gonna be alright, everything will be okay. For every dark night there is gonna be a brighter day. I keep on smiling, the sun's gonna shine and tomorrow will go my way. It's gonna be alright, everything will be okay. Oh, everything will be okay. All right.
Mitch Collins, thank
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, that song you and Casey wrote, that is so good.
Thank you. Thank you.
That is like a really super collaboration. I could hear her in it, and I could hear you in it, and so
Good. That's great to hear.
really, really, really great job. And I want to thank everybody who played and performed on the cafe tonight. David Easterling, Karen Bowles, David Lauver, Edna Riddick, Scott Parker, and Casey Smith. So thanks a lot, everybody. This cafe happens because we all have relationships with one another that started at some point, and that's why I'm so excited to see that another co-writing relationship started between Mitch Collins and Casey Smith. I think that's fantastic, and I think that's a big part of what we do here in supporting and encouraging one another. And so anyway, thank you all. Have a great evening, and we'll see you back here in a couple of weeks.